Hello, welcome back to How About That Crypto. So, everybody, what's up? I am normally do the daily crypto news and updates, but I am on vacation. Hashtag Florida man. So, hopefully, if you Google me, you won't find me after my trip on the internet for being arrested in Florida. So, anyway, I just needed to come on, and this is going to be a super quick. And there's a big happening here. So, you'll be getting these updates. They'll be much shorter while I'm on vacation, but there are a few stories that and big news that has happened. But for today, the most important thing is the New York Senate. Just it says new, and I'm using my phone because normally I have two screens and a whole setup. So I'm just going to be looking at my phone for the news story, and I'll put the link in the description below so you can follow it. This is a title. It's this an article. Mackenzie Sigalos from CNBC reports. The name of the article is New York just passed a bill cracking down on Bitcoin mining. Here's everything that's in it. It says lawmakers in New York just passed a bill to ban certain Bitcoin mining operations that run on carbon-based power sources. The measure now heads to the desk of Governor Kathy Hochul. Sorry if I mispronounced her name, and who could sign it into law vita. So it is not over yet. So if you're in New York, you might want to hit up the governor and any representative or anybody you need to. It sounds like it's all up to the governor at this point. It says that it's already been passed by the lawmakers, the state level lawmakers. If it passes, it would make New York the first state in the country to ban blockchain technologies and technology infrastructure. So I've reported on this in the past. I told you that this was coming. I told you that it got pulled out, but apparently last minute, very like 11th hour, so a couple of senators, state level state legislators were able to be turned to support this bill. So it got passed. Well, it has to be signed by the governor, but it was passed by the state level legislators. So here's a few pieces of information that are really important. There's a couple of sections. I thought this was the best article. I pulled up a bunch of different ones, and I even watched some videos, and I thought that this was the best one. So you can read the whole thing for yourself, but I just want to bring a couple points that I found were really important. It says that blockchain technology infrastructure would be a 2-year moratorium. It would give the state of New York here we go. One section of the bill involves conducting a statewide study of the environmental impact of proof of work mining operations on New York's ability to reach aggressive climate controls. So basically they're like, hey, this new industry, we're not a fan of. It's a high energy consumer. We don't like it. We're trying to get carbon neutral. So we need to pause any more licensing that we're going to give these people. And unless they're using 100% renewable energy, which is very interesting because so are they saying that, hey, blockchain, Bitcoin, proof of work mining companies, which are basically data centers, which they don't tell Amazon Web Service data centers and Facebook data centers or any of these other data centers that they got to use 100% renewables, but I'm going to digress on that point. So they're saying you got to use 100% renewable energy or else you don't get your license to mine doesn't get renewed. And during this 2-year moratorium on licensing, we're going to do some research to figure out if this is a bad thing. Instead of just doing the research and then finding out that, as a matter of fact, according to the Digital Chamber of Commerce, all their members in New York use 80% of the energy they use is from sustainable electricity. So how's that? 80%, 100% is better. 80% is probably better than any other in business, industry, or sector anywhere using sustainable energy. So anyway, I digress again. It's super annoying, as you can tell. I'm super annoyed by this, but don't be worried. I'm not worried. China accounted for 61% of the hash rate. They banned it. It all shut down, went to zero. Did Bitcoin stop? No. As a matter of fact, a bunch of underground mining operations in China now account for 20%. So there's probably going to be underground operations in New York. Just saying. But anyway, it looks like people are going to be moving to some other states that are more friendly. Wyoming, North Carolina, Texas, and I think there was like one other one that they mentioned in this article. And so they're also saying like, oh, by the way, the Biden administration is currently formulating its own policy targeting Bitcoin mining with an aim to mitigate energy consumption and emissions. Ask yourself, is it right that a new industry, a new business is being singled out for what type of energy they consume? If the answer is yes, then you should leave a comment so we can have a conversation. I'd love to have you on the show because I'd really, really like to hear from you. I think it's just that people don't get it, or they don't think it's valuable, or whatever, and that's why they're like, well, we don't need that, so we should ban it because it consumes energy. Or I don't really understand it, I don't get it, consuming energy must be bad, now I'm gonna get on with my life, instead of being a person that's focusing on the future. And tech is the only thing that takes us into the future, my opinion. Anyway, oh, by the way, none of this is financial advice, this is for your entertainment. All right, so anyway, there is a big concern that all these other there's a bunch of other blue states that look to New York and California, but California's not doing this, but they look to those two states as leading the way for new legislation and new policies. So there is a little concern there, but there's plenty of friendly places in this country. I will keep you updated. So if you're in New York, reach out to the governor, the 11th hour, veto. All right. Until then, have a good day. Hodl on.